Well, the big news on deadline day in South Africa, that is the 20th of September, was that of Sipho Mbule moving away from Mamelodi Sundowns with a loan deal to Polokwane United. Mike Makap, his agent, once upon a time said, Sipho Mbule, my agent, is frustrated at the game time. He's getting a clock up. And he is not used to that because where he came from, SuperSport United, he was a player that was relied on, and now coming to Mamelodi Sundowns, having just to not even fight for the first 11, but to make the matchday squad, he was just frustrated, and it was not good for his mental health. That was according to his agent, Mike Makapa. Well, now we know, it's been confirmed by Mamelodi Sundowns and Polokwane United that the player is on a loan deal for a year. Probably good for the player. Maybe this might refresh the player and see him getting back to his old form and playing consistently, because that's the ultimate goal for anyone who would leave a big club to go to a smaller club. No disrespect to Polokwane, is to get more game time than he was getting at his previous club. So at Polokwane United, he's under a good coach. Siema is a coach that believes in possession football, a ball-playing team. So Sipho Mbule should fit in well in his system. He's going to a football club that has got, good players. Figo Mtambo, you've got a Tabang Munare playing as a defensive midfielder. So Sipho Mbule can play as an 8, he can play as a number 10. And anything outside the box, if it gets to Sipho Mbule, be rest assured he's going to take a shot at goal. Brilliant in finding attackers with his sweet, juicy, true passes. So I think it's a good team, and for also the fact that they are playing in Confederations Cup, provided they win today or tomorrow, I don't know when they play, they are 0-1 down against an Angolan side. So one hopes that as he's going there, he will get more game time. And I just want to remind Sipho Mbule that once upon a time, Themba Mshishidzwane was loaned to Mpumalanga Black Aces. He came back. We know what Themba Zwane is today. Percy Tau, once upon a time, was loaned out, came back. We know where Percy Tau is today. So being loaned out does not mean that you're a bad player. Probably means that you just have to work on certain things. And maybe attitude, commitment, maybe gain a perception on what do you really want with your professional career. Anyway, this video is not just about Sipho Mbule, but it is about the 11 players that are free that can sign for any football club in BETWAY Premiership. Yes, we're expecting a Jayden Adams to go to Sundowns or a Kaizer Chiefs. But that did not happen. We were expecting a Veliba to go to Kaizer Chiefs. That did not happen. So Cape Town Spurs are really stubborn. They refuse to sell to Kaizer Chiefs. But it is what it is. The transfer window was open for everyone to engage and trade. And now the window is closed. The next one will be open in Jan. So, but the football teams can still sign the next 11 players I will mention. I mean, these 11 players make up a team on their own. But it is key that I also mention these 6 players. These are honorable mentions. I'm saying honorable because us, as YouTubers, as fans, we have retired these players. But the players, they believe that they can contribute in any football team. They still have the legs, they still have the engine to play for any football team and actually make success of the few years they have left in them. Number 1, honorable mention, Itumeleng Khune. We are retiring Itu Khune. Mzansi is number 1, but Khune says, I am still fresh. I can still push it until over the age of 42, just like his hero, his role model, Buffon, the Italian. Number 2, Sbu Vilakazi. Yes, we know that he's been hampered with, career-ending injuries. But Vilakazi believes that he still has got a lot to offer for any football club. Number 3, Surprise Ralani, an attacking forward, a winger, skillful, tricky. He looks like he's 26. but he's actually, I think, over the age of 36 as well. And any team that can sign a Surprise Ralani will benefit greatly from him. Number 4, Ndumiso Mabena. He's 37, I think. But as a number 9, he's very intelligent and attacking forward. Center forward, he's intelligent. I mean, Emagisi, Richards Bay United, Amazulu signing such a player, they will benefit from him on the field and off the field, because some of these players they need to transfer some of the skill and the experience they've had over the years to the younger ones. And some of these teams I've mentioned, they've got a lot of youngsters, and if you want to last in the Premiership, you must have a balance of both the experience and the young ones, and then strike that balance. And then the next player, number 5, honorable mention, is Etato Mukeke, born in 1990, still 34 years old. He is coming from that group of, Kemet Erasmus, Kamhalo Mukocho, Zongo. He was from that same group. They came together from the same development. They went to Fairwood in Netherlands. Some of them made it, like Mukocho and Erasmus, but he didn't make it. But we've seen his career in the PSL. He's been a very, very good player. He can play as a center mid, a center back, left center back, a left back. He's intelligent, and you can tell how he plays that the development is clearly seen in how he plays his football. Last but not least, number 6, another honorable mention would be a Luvuyo Memela, another 37-year-old who I think still has got the legs and the engine to contribute in any of these teams in the BETWAY Premiership. Now, who are the free agents that make up this 11? Our goalkeeper on this free agents 11 that can sign for any team because they've got their clearances. And number 1 would be Richard Ofori, released, or his contract with Orlando Pirates ended, and now he's a free agent. As much as with me, the last memory I have of Ofori is that of a stinker performance he had for Ghana in AFCON January and February in Ivory Coast. But he's still a decent keeper that can compete for a number 1, whether a Chipa, it's Kukune, and Amazulu, Richards Bay, Magesi, Golden Arrows, and these players, I don't think money at this time would be an issue, but obviously something fair for them. But they can contribute immensely in all of these teams. And then we will play a back 3 of this free agents, a back 3 that will include number 1, Edwin Jima, world travel, the Ghanaian, born I think in Accra. He's strong, he's fit as a horse. He's got the engine for days. Anywhere in the back line, he can fit in there. I believe Edwin Jima can still contribute. I mean, can still fit in all of these teams. He can fit in at Galaxy. He can fit in, obviously the back 3 might not consider him, but he can even fit with even your Captain City at for Eric Tinklam. So Edwin Jima, I still believe he's got more. He's got more to offer for any of the clubs that can actually sign him. Bushem Kwanazi, he hasn't played for some time, but under Gavin Hunt, he played some of his best football, born in Bloemfontein. Obviously, Gavin Hunt is loyal to his players, but unfortunately, he cannot sign all of them. It is impossible. He's brought in Tyson Hlachwayo, he's brought in some of the players who played for him at Bidvest Vets, but he can't sign them all. But Bushem Kwanazi, as a centre back, he is intelligent. He is comfortable playing the ball on the ground, and he's big, he's tall, he's strong. I hope that he gets a club as well. But we all know how these BETWAY Premiership franchises treat some of these players who are over the age of 30. But I hope he gets a team. The last man in defense will be Sipho Mbule. Last team he played for was Kaizer Chiefs, and Sipho Mbule can play as a left center back, can play also as a as a left back, and with his history, he's also played in the middle as a central midfielder. So again, he's got a lot to offer. I think he's still 33, 32. He can play for any of these teams in the Premier Soccership. Now let's go to the middle, and this will be a middle of 4 players. Let's start on the far right, number 8. Thulani Serreros. Thulani Serrero, he is still in the Gulf, and that's the last team he played for was in UAE. I think for Ken, and we haven't heard much from him, but we know he's a free agent. He's been in the Gulf for over 5 years, and it is extremely difficult to take a player from the Gulf and bring him to South Africa. Yeah, I think he's used to the oil money. He has done well in his career. He's been in Europe. I mean, he's played overseas for majority of his career. He left South Africa when he was 20 or 21. He's 34 today. So, and I believe the money he's made is enough for him to come back home and play in the last 2 or 3 years in the BETWAY Premiership. So Thulani Serrero is another one. He's a creative midfielder. He can play as a 10. He can play as a CDM. He can play as behind the strikers. He's matured. He's experienced. And anyone who gets a Thulani Serrero, there was talk of the guys who were sponsoring Richards Bay that they also wanted Thulani Serrero. I don't know how or where that ended, but Thulani Serrero, for all the teams, he is still available. Now, CDM in this free agents 11 would be a Bongani Zungu. What more can I say about a Bongani? Last team he played for was a Mamelodi Sundowns, and he was also released. We were all thinking that he is definitely going to be joining Rulani Mukwena in Morocco, but that did not happen, and I think he's still waiting for some club in the Gulf as well, but he's available. He is free. On his left, it would be a Keegan Dolly. Keegan Dolly rubbished all the news concerning him earning 1.2 million rands at Naturena. He said all of that was not true, because if it was true, he would be somewhere in the world, lying on a beach in some island and enjoying his money. So he rubbished all those reports that he was earning over 1 million rand per month at Naturena. He's available, as much as we know that he's had some injuries, especially after he left Mamelodi Sundowns. I mean, even at Montpellier, at France, it was the same thing. At Chiefs, it was the same thing. But there comes a point in time where you get healed of these things, and you will play like you are a youngster. I'm hoping that a team will sign him. I mean, I don't think some of these players, even if they will get 250,000 after tax, it would be that bad. And 250,000 rands per month for this club shouldn't be such an issue. He's a creative midfielder, can play as a winger, can play as a number 10. That is a Keegan Dolly, who will form part of the front three in this free agents 11. Let's start with a La Vida Loca, Lesedi Kapinga. He didn't make it in Mamelodi Sundowns. He didn't make it also at Orlando Pirates. They've released him. He's a free agent. He's young. He's probably 30. He can also fit in any of these BETWAY Premiership clubs. He's got brains, man. He's a creative midfielder. I mean, there are clubs that are short of number 10s, just like a Kaizer Chiefs. Lesedi Kapinga could fit in at Kaizer Chiefs as a number 10 and form part of that 4-2-3-1 that is greatly favored by their new coach, the Tunisian Mr. Nabi. So, Kaizer Chiefs, would you accept a player like Lesedi Kapinga in your football club? While you are at it, if you're seeing this space and this content for the very first time, I do go by the name of Oscar Ntsintsi Football, discuss and engage on anything to do with football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Please do like the videos so they also reach people like you who like this content. And it's also important that you subscribe so that I get to a certain number where I'm able to even work with certain companies and certain individuals and certain personalities, and also maybe even invite some former soccer players, current players, and engage them so that we grow this channel. It must not just end with me and being here. And that's it, man. And the last two players that will form part of this Free Agents FC would be Samir Norkovic, a Serbian, who made a name of himself while he was still coached by a Middendorp at Kaizer Chiefs. Nearly won the league in that 2019-2020 squad, but unfortunately, a guy by the name of Kambala messed it all up for them with that 1-1 draw against Kaizer Chiefs. And Samir has not won any silverware since he's been in South Africa. The last team he played for was at TS Galaxy. They've released him, they've parted ways with him, but I believe Samir, as a number 9, he's one of the best finishers in the league, dangerous in the air. SuperSport were linked with this guy, and we cannot blame us or blame the journalist linking Samir Norkovic with a SuperSport, because the type of play that a Gavin Hunt employs requires a target man of his stature, a target man who's good in the Grobler is out for some months. Lipasa, that one did not materialize. Lipasa moving from Orlando Pirates to a SuperSport United. So Gavin Hunt signing a Norkovic would make a lot of sense, but any other team can sign a Samir Norkovic. The last one on the list to make up the Free Agents 11 is Kermit Erasmus, coming also from that school of Tulani Serrero, Tato Mukeke, who else is there? I'm forgetting the other names. Oh, Kamohelo Mukocho. They went to Fairwood from SuperSport Development, and they just flourished. Kermit Erasmus can play as a 10, can play in any of the positions in the front. He is one of the best finishers. He plays with left and right foot, and so yeah. He played for Mario Sundowns. I don't think Sundowns will sign him. He played for Orlando Pirates. I don't think Orlando Pirates will sign him. They just released him. So at Kaizer Chiefs, would you sign a Serrero? SuperSport United, would you sign? I mean, would you sign an Erasmus? Skukune, do you have room for another one? I don't know. But these are all players who are free that can sign for any team at any time. They are not limited by the transfer window. They've got their clearances and they can be taken by anyone. Tell me of any player that I missed, that I didn't even mention in those honorable mentions, that you think he still has got something to offer for any of these Betway Premiership football clubs. Yes, thank you for staying this long with me. Do engage on the comments. I do attempt really to answer every comment, negative or positive. I do respond, and obviously if you are rude, maybe you should not be here. It is okay. It is okay. The cake is too big, man. You don't have to be stuck up with me. We can move on to the next one. No hard feelings, man. If you probably gonna like someone else. But yeah, thank you for staying this long, and I'll continue declaring and saying, may my God bless you all.